Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Canelo Alvarez, man. He's been talking a lot lately about trying to continue his career for another 6 to 7 years. He's already in his early 30s, so it sounds like he wants to exit boxing before he turns 40 years old. But at the same time, he's not using the same words as Floyd Mayweather, but he's saying the same thing that Floyd said. I'm going to retire from boxing. I'm not going to let boxing retire me. Those are Floyd Mayweather's words. What Canelo is saying now is he refuses to ever become a fallen hero as long as he keeps his feet grounded and believes his 4 children will keep him grounded to avoid the many pitfalls that a lot of boxers before him made. And what he was alluding to is guys not knowing when to stop, boxers not managing their finances properly, and also getting so caught up in the sport that they forget about their family. And when I listen to Canelo talk about his children, you know, it just gives me like a newfound respect for Canelo, man. I already admired him. Young guy, mature beyond his ages, probably because he's the baby and just how he grew up. Very tough upbringing, you know, parents splitting, going with his dad, selling ice cream, being lonely. And he talked a lot about that. There was an interview he did maybe a year ago. You need to go look it up. It's a pretty in-depth interview, man. And he talks a lot about just being a kid and being alone and being depressed and stuff like that. And getting bullied. But you can see that he doesn't forget where he came from. This man signed his first fight was for $25, or the equivalent of like 25 US. His very first fight in 2005. And you look where he is now, where he, you know, recently signed that 11 fight deal for 280, almost $300 million. And you look at what he's doing right now with the 2-fight deal with DAZN. And, you know, you got other networks, other promoters trying to get a man $55 million for this fighter, $45 million for this fighter at catch weights. Canelo Alvarez has not let the money go to his head. He still has everything in perspective, and those kids of his keep him that way. And I really like seeing that. But it makes me wonder, right? When you have, well, he has 4 kids, you know, by different women, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But my thing is, you know, if you plan on fighting another 6 or 7 years, okay? I mean, and you're talking about going up to fight a guy like Usyk, and your thing is just looking for the biggest challenges out there. I don't think you're going to get to another 6 or 7 years, to be honest with you. I think he's gonna exit this sport sooner than that, because once he starts getting touched up, and if his kids are what's keeping him grounded, and he's promising to make sure not to allow boxing basically to retire him. I can't see him being around another 6 or 7 years. Not at the pace he's going. Not because he doesn't have the talent. I just don't think his body can keep up. This man fighting like 3 times a year. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body. That's a lot of training camps. And when you have kids like that, those training camps take away from your children's time. And listen to Miguel Cotto. Okay? Listen to Miguel Cotto when he talks. Miguel Cotto can't even talk about his kids without crying. He talks and he cries. He loves his children, but he missed things he can't get back. True. You look at the quality of life he created for his family. Absolutely amazing. But let me tell you something. Money's not everything. Now, I'm not going to come out here and be, take it to the stupid. Like some people say, oh, money doesn't create happiness. Money doesn't make you happy. Yeah, right. Drop 10 million in your account right now. I bet you'll be out here dancing, doing cartwheels. Your tongue be hanging out your mouth, wrapped around your head and dragging across your scalp. So don't tell me money can't make you happy. You're damn right money can make you happy. But if you chasing money causes you to miss birthdays, miss graduations, miss proms, just miss dinners, miss a laugh, miss sporting events for your kids, rehearsals, then you probably need to stop and reassess, okay? Especially when you've secured your children's future and your grandchildren's future. And I understand people have passions and stuff like that. But it sounds to me like Canelo Alvarez is very fortunate to have started boxing very young as a professional, very young. And he's very fortunate to have Eddie Reynoso and Eddie Reynoso's dad in his life. Because look at the position he's in at what is he, like 31, 32? Look at the position this man's in. So I definitely think he has a few more years, but let's not forget, he has a lot of wear and tear on him because he's been boxing for a long time. He turned professional at a very young age. So, you don't allow the age to fool you. Don't be misled by his age and be fooled by it. Canelo Alvarez has been boxing a long time, another 6 to 7 years. I think he started boxing professionally at 15, 16? So you figure at 35, that's 20 years as a pro. That's a long time. So I don't see him getting in another 6 to 7 years, especially looking at his children and trying to be there for them, especially having that little one, that little schnookum pal there. I can't see him doing 6 or 7 more years. But I really like the fact that he has things in perspective. He has a plan, he has a vision, and he knows at any point that he's willing to have a change of plans to ensure that he's able to be there for his kids and his family, because getting savagely beat down, just chasing money and paydays and hanging around longer than what he should, it's not necessary. And you look at guys who retire with nothing. Canelo Alvarez has been surrounded by smart people. The man makes millions of dollars every month off of his investments. Canelo Alvarez is okay. And I'm going to do another video about this. Eddie Hearns can say what he wants about Canelo and about Mayweather. Mayweather doesn't want anyone to surpass what he accomplished financially or with his boxing record. But you know what? That's his opinion. He's entitled to it. But a smart person, doesn't matter if that's an adversary of yours, a friend of yours, if there's someone doing something and it's working for them, why not pay attention and try to learn from that individual? I just hate this crab in the barrel mentality. People trying to break everyone down, trying to pull them down, not wanting to see someone else succeed. I've done a lot of different things, and some things worked out. But I've never, ever tried to pigeonhole someone. Now, once I impart some wisdom to you, it's on you. Because what I realized, and I think a lot of this audience realizes, is your best is not somebody else's best. And their best may be more than yours. Or your best may be more than what they're willing to put in. Their best may be your average. And your best may be their average. But at the end of the day, you can't force anyone to do anything. So when you look at guys out there, I don't have to call any names, professional boxers who brag about spending $1 million in a weekend. Buying all these expensive cars and then having the cars repossessed, having the homes repossessed, huge lawsuits, huge amounts of debt, and then ended up retiring with nothing at all. And I just don't understand, but it's a mentality, and I think a lot of us are just born. We're already kind of pre-wired to think a kind of way. I think over time we can be influenced to see things a little differently. But for the most part, I think we're all pre-wired a kind of way. And I think Canelo's already, like I said, he's been pre-wired to have the mentality he has. That's why this guy is in the position he's in, and he's doing so well, and he's gonna keep doing well. You know, he's not flagrant, he's not ridiculous, but he does have a little fire in him, and he's very passionate, and it comes out. And not only in the ring against his opponents and his training, but it's there for his children too. So Canelo Alvarez, man, I really like the fact that he has his feet on the ground, and he's it sounds like he will know when to hang it up, when to call it quits, and I'm glad to at least hear him talking like that. Now, whether he does it or not, who knows? You know, if he gets in there, shit, this weekend, he may get in there this weekend and get blasted out by Bivol. But I don't know. That'll be his first. I mean, that'll be the first time he really gets clipped in a fight. He has to come back and try to avenge that. But if he can't do it, then maybe he'll say, okay, I've kind of met my threshold, and I've done so much at super middleweight. I've come up now. I fought at light heavyweight, and you know, it's me unifying this division isn't in the cards. I'm no longer motivated by anything else. He may go on to fight his next fight to meet his 2-fight contract, and then he'll just retire. So he could retire sooner than later. It's going to take the right opponent to force him to make that decision by, you know, putting hands on him. But I don't know. We'll see. But I like the fact that he's thinking like that. He has his family set up, his kids set up, the next few generations set up, and he's making the right moves outside of the ring too, man. And for those of you who are watching this, you may need to look into those index funds if you haven't, especially if you have young kids. Start now. You'll be glad you did it. And I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm just telling you. If you got small ones like I have, Canelo has, you better go to YouTube and type in top 5 index funds and look at what that annual return has been, and the return over the last 8 to 10 years, some of them the last 15 years. And you better figure it out real quick, because it's not hard to get your money right, especially your kid's future. When you start off at a baby, you know, up to 4 years old, you drop a little bit in there, kids will be straight. Listen to Canelo, don't listen to me. It's all about the kids, all about family. Let's do the right thing. Respect Canelo, man. Good dude. I really respect that. So that being said, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Shout out to all the veterans. Y'all keep safe.